Hello, child. Hello, internet people. You're not my child. My name is Blade. This right here is Jimmy. That's my son. And in this video, we're going to be reviewing Week 15 of the NFL to see how I did with my predictions, and then laying down some pretty rough predictions for next week. In this corner here, I'm going to keep a little record to see how I did. If I got a prediction right, that number will be green. If I got a prediction wrong, that number will be red. Week 15. It's almost over, guys. The ride is almost over. Let's run it back. Let's rewind. Let's You guys ready? Let's get into it.
Hey, you smell like hot dog water, boy. Oh, you.
Now, before I get into Week 15, I wanted to apologize for missing a couple videos. There was finals that sort of jacked up my schedule. I'm done with this semester, though. I think I did decent. It was cool. Yeah. And then my headphones just fell apart. They just disintegrated, vanished, reduced to atoms. So I wanted to let you know that in Week 14, I went 12-1 because I'm goated. I'm him. I might be pretty good at this. I don't know. All of the games are pretty obvious. All right. Just wanted to say that. Apologize for missing a couple videos. I'll get better at this. I promise. I love you. You ready? Let's go. Kicking us off on Thursday, we had the Rams and the 49ers, and my God, this game was so boring. What an absolute snoozer of a game, dude. Like, I said the Rams would win this, and they did, but this game was so boring. There wasn't a single touchdown. This entire game, there wasn't a single touchdown. Just kick after kick after kick after kick, so on and so forth. Kick. I ordered really good food for this game. Like, I ordered some pizza and some wings. It was like a melt. It was a little Pizza Hut box thing. It was pretty good. And even that started to taste bland with how boring this freaking fragging game was. Tom Grossi? I wanted to fall asleep. That was hours I'll never get back. Then to kick off Sunday, we had the Cowboys and the Panthers. Now, I said the Cowboys would win this because the Panthers are indeed the Panthers, and they won. Not the Panthers, the Cowboys. The Cowboys won, just to clarify. The first score wouldn't come until about midway through the second, with the Cowboys scoring a touchdown. The Cowboys then extended that lead with a kick. Then to close out the half, the Cowboys would fumble in the red zone, and the Panthers would score with a big run. The Cowboys could have ended the half by extending their lead, but the kick was awful from 70 yards. From here, the Cowboys would pour it on, making the score 27-7 before the Panthers would score another touchdown. Then, towards the end of the game, the Cowboys would take one more kick to bring us to our 30-14 final. Then we had the Chiefs and the Browns. It was a no-brainer to pick the Chiefs here. The Chiefs would score first thanks to a fumble recovery, then slowly extend that lead to 21-0. Then, late in the third, the Browns would finally score a touchdown to make it 21-7, but that would close out scoring on both sides. The Browns could have made it a closer game in the fourth, but Winston was intercepted in the end zone. The fourth would also be where Mahomes would take a really awkward-looking hit and suffer from a high ankle sprain. He's currently considered week to week. Then the Dolphins went to Houston to play my Texans. I had the Texans here, obviously, and they won. The Texans scored first with a kick, then the Dolphins would tie it with a kick of their own. The Texans would respond by falling on a fumble and then scoring on a Nico Collins touchdown. The Dolphins would then kick to get just a little bit closer, but then after this, Bullock would get a crazy interception, bringing the Texans into the red zone, but unfortunately we couldn't capitalize with 7 and settled for 3. Then in the third, the Texans would fake punt, first time I've ever seen them do that, and drive into the red zone, leading to another Nico Collins touchdown. The Dolphins responded by scoring a touchdown, but the kick was no good. The Dolphins, after some back and forth, would get a decent drive going, getting into Houston territory, but this was killed by another Tua interception. And then, after some back and forth, Stingley would do it again to seal the game. The Jets played the Jags. I said the Jets would win this one, and they did. The Jags scored first with a touchdown, but this was followed by a Jets touchdown. Towards the end of the half, the Jags would take the lead with 3, and then end the half with 3 more. The Jets would get a nice drive going, and then would make it a 3-point game to start the third. This was followed by the Jags extending their lead with 3 more. After this, the Jets would take the lead with a touchdown. Then, in the fourth, the Jags would take that lead right back with a touchdown of their own. The Jets tried to respond, but the kick was no good. Then, late in the game, the Jets would get the lead back with a touchdown. This was followed by the Jags tying it at 25, only for the Jets to score one last touchdown to take the lead and steal the win. The Commanders played the Saints. I said the Commanders here. They won. The Commanders would score first, then extend their lead to 17-0 before the Saints would score a touchdown. This was followed by the teams trading kicks to make it 2010. Good year for music. 2010 bangers hit crazy. They hit so crazy. And the nostalgia is like, pop, you know? Then the Saints would kick another field goal to make it 2013. My brain literally remembers nothing from 2013 at all in the slightest. Tried to remember. I can't. The Commanders tried to extend their lead again, but the kick was no good.
Nope.
Then to end the game, the Saints would score a touchdown to make it a 1-point game, but would fail the 2-point conversion to end this one at 2019, the year before the world fell apart. The Ravens played the Giants, another no-brainer here. The Ravens would score first and then score again to make it 14-0 before the Giants could score to make it 14-7. Then the Ravens ran up the score to 35-7 before the Giants could score again to bring us to our 35-14 final. The Giants lose their 9th straight game, tying their franchise record. Tragic. Tragic. The Bengals played the Titans. I said the Bengals here and they won. This game started with Joe Burrow immediately throwing an interception and the Titans getting their first points. Bengals somehow won this game. Crazy way to start a game. Crazy way to start a game. Then the Bengals would reply by tying it, only for the Titans to take the lead with another touchdown. Then, midway through the second, the Bengals would tie it. Then, thanks to a Levis interception, the Bengals would take the lead. Then, thanks to a Levis interception, the Bengals would extend their lead. The Bengals would then end the half with the field goal to extend their lead again. Then, midway through the third, the Bengals would score again on a pick 6. Then the Bengals would extend their lead again thanks to a scoop and score to make it 31-14. Hi, Editor Blade here doing the editing for the edit. I forgot to mention that this touchdown was then called back because, and I don't understand how this happens at least once a week every season. Homeboy dropped the ball, literally dropped the ball right before he entered the end zone, so it wasn't counted as a touchdown. Back to your regular scheduled program. 3, 2, 1. I'll see you. Bye. The Titans would then put Rudolph in, and they would finally get some other points on the board. That was it for them. After this, the Bengals would score one last touchdown to make it 37-21. Then the Patriots played the Cardinals. I had the Cardinals here and they won. The Cardinals would score first with a kick, then extend their lead with a weird fumble touchdown thing. Then the Pats would get their first points on the board with 3. Then the Cardinals would run up the score to 23-3 before the Pats could score a touchdown. This was followed by the teams trading touchdowns one final time to make it 30-17. Decent year. Good year. It was a good year. Then the Colts played the Broncos. I saw the Broncos here and they won. The Colts scored first with a touchdown, then extended their lead with a field goal. Then midway through the second, the Broncos would score a touchdown to make it 10-7. This was followed by the Colts extending their lead with a kick and what looked like a touchdown, but that call was overturned. The Colts would stop scoring here. From here, the Broncos would make it a 3-point game with a kick, then would take the lead with a touchdown, then score one last touchdown to secure the win. The Bills played the Lions, and this game was a battle. It was a battle. I had the Lions winning this, and the Bills managed to pull off the upset. The Bills scored first with a touchdown, then extended their lead with another one. Then, at the start of the second, the Lions would get their first points, only for the Bills to immediately score again. Then the Lions, late in the half, would do their favorite thing and score with a big guy. The Bills had a chance to respond, but that kick was no good. Nope. Then the Lions had a chance to get closer, and that kick was no good. Then at the start of the third, the Bills would score another touchdown, then extend their lead to 35-14. Then late in the third, the Lions would score a touchdown to make it 35-21, only for the Bills to extend their lead with a kick. This was followed by another Lions touchdown, which was followed by another Bills touchdown. The fourth was a shootout, but the Bills managed to pull through and win 48-45. The Buccaneers played the Chargers. I said the Bucs would win this, and they did. This game stayed close for the most part. The Bucs scored first with 7, and then the Chargers responded by tying it. Then the Bucs took the lead with a kick. Then the Chargers tied it. Then the Chargers took the lead with a touchdown, and that was it from them. After this, the Bucs would get closer with a kick, then take the lead and run up that lead, bringing us to our final of 40-17. The Steelers played the Eagles. I had the Eagles winning this, and they did. The Eagles would score first with 3, then the Steelers tied it. This was followed by the Eagles scoring a touchdown for the lead, then scoring another one to extend their lead, making it 17-3. Then late in the second, the Steelers would score the touchdown to make it 17-10, then kicked to make it 17-13, and this is where they stopped. From here, the Eagles kicked one more time to make it 20-13, then scored one last touchdown to end this one at 27-13. Then on Sunday night, the Packers killed the Seahawks. I kind of figured this would happen. The Packers scored first with a touchdown, then extended their lead with another one late in the first. After this, the Seahawks would put up 3 in the second. The Packers would respond with a kick of their own. The Seahawks could have extended their lead with a touchdown late in the first half, but an interception in the end zone killed that. This would lead to the Packers kicking another field goal to make the score 20-3. Then, midway through the third, the Seahawks would get 3 more points. The Packers responded with 3 of their own. This would be followed by the Seahawks scoring a touchdown to make it 23-13, but that's where the Seahawks would stop scoring. From here, the Packers would score one more touchdown to bring us to our 30-13 final. That brings us to 2 very boring Monday night games. Let's start with the Bears taking on the Winter Vikings. The Vikings scored first with the field goal, then extended their lead to 13-0 before the Bears could finally put up 3. This was followed by the Vikings scoring another touchdown to make it 20-3, and then the Bears kicking another field goal, only for the Vikings to score with another touchdown. Midway through the fourth, the Bears would finally get a touchdown, but the Vikings would put the nail in the coffin with one last kick. I think the Bears are killing Caleb Williams. That, or he's just not mentally strong enough yet. Then lastly, we had the Falcons and the Saints. I said the Falcons here, and that happened. The Falcons would score first at the end of the first quarter. This was followed by the Raiders putting up 3. The Falcons responded to that with a safety. The Falcons then extended their lead to 15-3 with 2 kicks, and that's where they would stop. There was a chance to extend the lead further, but that kick was no good.
Nope.
After this, the Raiders would score a touchdown with 3 minutes left in the game, but the kick was blocked, leaving us at our 15-9 final. Alright, that brings us to our Week 16 predictions. Again, man, I can't believe it's almost over. 16? No good. In this part of the video, I go over all of the matchups, and based basically entirely on gut feeling, I'll tell you who I think is gonna win. Are you ready? Let's go.
Hey, you smell like hot dog water, boy. Ooh, you.
Starting us off on Thursday, we have the Broncos and the Chargers. I think the Broncos take this one. It feels like it could be a toss-up, but I'm sticking with the Broncos here. Then on Saturday, we have 2 games at 1 o'clock. On Saturday, we have my Texans and the Chiefs. I might need to call off work. I'm praying the football gods bless us here. Then later that day, the Steelers take on the Ravens. I have a feeling the Ravens take this one. Then we have a busy Sunday, so let me try to blow through these real quick. The Giants take on the Falcons. The Falcons win. The Cardinals take on the Panthers, and the Cardinals win. The Lions take out some frustration on the Bears. The Titans lose to the Colts. The Rams take on the Jets. I'm gonna say the Jets take this, but this is absolutely anybody's game. The Eagles have a rematch with the Commanders. I see the Eagles winning this one. The Browns take on the Bengals, and the Bengals win. The Vikings go to Seattle to kill the Seahawks. The Patriots sacrifice themselves to Buffalo. The Jags take on the Raiders. I'm gonna say the Jags here, but if they lose to the Raiders, I will laugh very hard. The 49ers and the Dolphins, there's another toss-up there. I'm gonna say Miami here because they seem stronger, but I won't be surprised to see a 49er win. Then on Sunday night, the Buccaneers sail to pillage the Cowboys, which brings us to Monday night, where the Saints are going to die by the hands of the Packers. Alright, that does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, share with your friends if you want to. Subscribe here if you want some more really bad predictions. I'm also looking to start getting into streaming, probably some Marvel Rivals, some music stuff. Been really into Pokemon lately, so maybe some Pokemon stuff. I don't know, you guys let me know. I'm kind of just down to do whatever, because football season's almost over, and I gotta find some other content. Cool? Cool. Bye!